is another game that came out in 2007, a game I hear you're quite fond of, Miranda.
Yes. BioShock was the first step I took to anything that was somewhat horror, because I am the biggest baby ever.
Sure.
Justin knows.
Yeah, no,
he doesn't like horror games.
No, I don't like the spookies.
The best psychological thriller action anything I had ever played at the time. Would you kindly just?
Yeah. It's a spiritual successor to System Shock 2, which I had never actually played System Shock or its sequel.
You have to play that remake.
Yeah. Is that out now, by the way? As an aside? I know that's coming right now.
No.
I think Rapture was an incredible setting for game. That's definitely like one of the main characters of the game, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of games recycle the same settings and like war settings or just places in time or always space. And going underwater into this dystopia is just beautiful and unknown, and everything is just a secret and waiting to be unraveled, and also very scary.
The sounds. I remember playing and having my surround sound on and hearing things around me and playing in the dark, and I was like, okay, I need to slow down. Like, I was always just looking around because you hear things go running around the back of you, and you're like, dude, this is really scary.
I remember playing with my twin sister because we would always play together. Like, she'd sit next to me and I'd play. And there was one time when you get in this dark room and there's a spotlight shining on you. It's like one of the scenes that always stuck with me. I think it's kind of early on. And the splicers are just like surrounding you, but you can't see where they are.
That's the end of like the first act of the game.
Yeah, and then when they started just jumping out, I remember like screaming, and my parents were like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, just this game is fantastic. So.
Yeah, we similar to you play like surround sound. That was it stands out to me for a bunch of reasons. You know, just being an incredible game and Andrew Ryan being an incredible character. But that was the first game I played in HD. Like I had an SD television, and I played like games like Oblivion and launch or early Xbox 360 games on a small SD television, and got my brand new HD TV. And BioShock was hit right at that time, and so that was like. It felt like this incredible, and now when I go back and look at that TV, it's actually kind of small and like 720p. It's not that great, but it felt like that. That memory is always tied in that late 2000s era when like HD really kind of took off.
Yeah.
BioShock deals with very heady themes for a video game. It draws inspiration from objectivism and the writings of Ayn Rand and personal identity. It's just like, it's not like the just shooty mechanics that a lot of video games are.
Yeah, I mean, it really marries both. Like, it is mechanically very solid and fun and satisfying, and the games have weight to them, and the plasmids are really interesting and varied and give you a lot of sort of choice about how you want to take them down. And then the way that it marries that gameplay with the story, like, they're not these separate things that a lot of video games to this day are like, here's this kind of interesting story and here's this interesting gameplay, but they don't really have that much to do with each other, including, sadly, BioShock Infinite. But the original BioShock, there was a reason, an excuse for why everything worked the way it did, and the plasmids and their role in the world. And I thought it did such a good job of sort of presenting you this like cohesive vision for how the gameplay and the story like combine with each other.
Yeah, and the enemies too are just so original and fun, like the big daddies. And the first time you saw one of those, especially in like the marketing campaigns, it's sort of like, wow. Whoa, okay. I'm ready to take that guy down. Also, save every little sister.
Yeah, so. I remember that was another, man, I guess I never really thought until we sat down here to record that was another year for great trailers. That BioShock trailer where it's underwater, but nope, that was an aquarium. But nope, that aquarium's underwater. And then the Big Daddy, it ends with the Big Daddy, sort of running you through with his giant drill. Like, man, I kind of want to go back and play BioShock now.
BioShock's really good. I love the freedom that it gave us as players to approach conflicts because you have all the different powers. What are they called in BioShock?
Your plasmids.
Your plasmids, yeah. You're like gaining more and more as you play through the game, so that when you come to an encounter, you can sort of choose which ones you want to use and how you want to approach different situations.
Bobby, would you do it straight up to take out a Big Daddy, or would you plan it out?
Just the way I play, I go straight at them and learn my lessons. I just like, okay, that's not the way to do it. So I kind of ran a lot too. After a while, it's like, okay, I need to go get some reinforcements to my weapons and plan this out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
I would always do the trip. I forgot the trip wires, like wire up a hallway with trip wires and lure the Big Daddies into them.
Also, you had some great vending machines. Circus of Values.
Really good vending machines,
Yeah.
And then you were saying that a game like BioShock would be harder to translate into a movie. It's actually because it actually turned out to be too difficult because they wanted to make a movie of it.
For several years that happened and just never came to be. It was like, well, we can't make it rated R, but how could you not make it rated R? Because it's a BioShock. And then
No, it's supposed to be directed by Gore Verbinski, who did all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.